Injustice: Gods Among Us is the fighting game that sets out to end the age-old battle that you've had on the playground. Who would win in a fight, Superman or Batman? Injustice: Gods Among Us was developed by NetherRealm Studios, the guys who made all the Mortal Kombats, most recently, Mortal Kombat 9, and that certainly shows with this game. I can just come right out and say it, if you liked Mortal Kombat 9, and if you like superheroes, you should probably go out and get Injustice. It's a good time. It's a really good time, and while it's not the most technical of fighting games, you know, it's no like Street Fighter 2, there is so much fun to be had, so much to see and do. It's definitely a good time and definitely probably worth your money. I'll talk about the story real quick, but I don't really want to spoil anything because it's actually a damn enjoyable and well-written story. It's very hard to explain, but the best part about it is, like, what would Superman be like if he was a dick? There's obviously much more than that, but it's all told through a lot of really good cinematic presentations that you sit through quite a bit of them. And it's great. That's almost worth the price of admission alone. I had a blast with the story. It's not very long, but you do play in like the regular fighting game fashion, you know, up the roster. Then there's also a classic arcade mode and multiplayer modes and Star Labs mode, which is kind of like a challenge playlist. And there's a lot to be had here. Granted, also probably the funnest part of this game is unlocking all of the characters and their alternative outfits and stuff like that. Some characters you can unlock through playing the free iOS game, which sounds crappy, but the iOS game isn't bad, and you don't have to do much to get it, and it's definitely worth it because you can unlock the Batman Beyond skin. What's better than that? Everyone in the game is very well represented, all heroes. Kevin Conroy returns to voice Batman, and the guy who did Superman from the animated series voices himself as well, which is really cool, and just everything about the game just oozes DC fanboy superhero awesomeness. From the abilities that are kind of like stat boosts that temporarily give your character a little edge, like for example, Superman just kind of gets more power. Batman lets like these little flying bat robots fly around him. Little details like that, and then also the way characters interact. There's actually battle-specific dialogue for each character, which it really goes the extra mile and definitely kind of makes things fresh every time you do a new fight. The environments are also incredible. There's Metropolis, there's Wayne Manor, there's the Batcave, there's the planet where all the Green Lanterns live, there's the Watchtower. There's a lot of stuff to see here, and there's a lot of stuff to break. While you fight, not only do your characters get damaged, but the world kind of crumbles as well, and it's just such a bombastic fighting game. All the hits are hard, everything is ridiculous. There are multi-tiered levels where you get thrown through buildings, you fall into holes, all kinds of stuff that you'd expect from, you know, NetherRealm Studios. And like I said, it really just is an homage to everything DC and everything that's awesome about it. Also, some of the environmental stuff, I'm afraid I did find that some of it was a little too much, you know, with chandeliers to throw and cars to throw and windows to throw people through. It's a lot, and you can actually... It almost fills up a little bit too much of the environment. It's hard to explain, but it's surprisingly easy to, not that I can do it, but it seems very surprisingly easy to 100% combo through a match. So that could be a bit of a game breaker. However, they did include the option to turn off environment attacks. So there's that. The menus are beautiful, and the way you can look up all your abilities and attacks are great. And you can also see how many frames each animation takes, so if you're like really technical as a fighting game player, it's all really there. The online multiplayer is pretty good as well. I only experienced a little bit of lag, and there's a King of the Hill type mode that is a lot of fun. So like I've been saying, Injustice: Gods Among Us is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's very bombastic, it's very ridiculous, it's crazy. It's not the deepest fighting game in the world, but it's fun to watch, it's fun to play, and it's really fun to play with your friends. So I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's definitely worth a bit of your time. You know, if you have a general interest in superheroes, and if you were into the Mortal Kombat 9 fighting engine, this is obviously a tweaked version, but go for it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of Injustice: Gods Among Us. Have you unlocked all the characters yet? What's your favorite one? And what's your favorite alternate costume? Let's talk about it down below. Let me know anything you want about Injustice: Gods Among Us, and that's gonna be pretty much it.
Can't stop running!